Hey Flossy friends, this is Lisha the Southern Ladybug, and I just wanted to say Happy New Year. I hope you had an awesome Christmas. I had a very uneventful and unstressful Christmas and a very boring New Year's, so it was fun. Had to go back to work on Monday, then we had New Year's Day off, and back to work yesterday. Kind of felt like 2 Mondays in 1 week. I don't think that's very fair, but we made it. It was pretty quiet at the clinic this week. We have several doctors that are out, so it's been really nice to come back and just kind of chill a little bit and work our way back into regular everyday stuff. So it hadn't been too bad. I've actually got some progress to show y'all. I'm quite proud of myself. I wanted to spend the whole weekend before New Year's just stitching or making some scissor fobs and just playing in my room. But I ended up going down a rabbit hole and cleaning out my craft closet. I'm a craft hoarder. I've decided that's the official diagnosis for me. I buy all this cool stuff and stack it up, and with these great plans that I can probably use that on something someday, and then no project or person is ever worthy of my stash. So I've got beads galore. I've got paper. I used to really be into rubber stamping and scrapbooking, so I've got all kinds of paper crafting stuff. I've got ribbon. I've got mementos that I don't know what to do with, pictures in boxes, and I just went through my craft closet getting rid of crap. The fact is, I really just reorganized the crap. I didn't actually get rid of anything. I got rid of a bunch of storage boxes and rearranged some things, and I did get rid of some stuff that I was keeping and think, I can put something in that. That's a cool storage box. I'm sure I can do something with that, and I haven't. So it's in a big pile behind me over here before I decide that I'm probably not going to get rid of it. I'm just going to move it to the attic until I need it. Yeah, I didn't get rid of anything. But it's like my yarn. I buy all this pretty yarn, but it's just random. And then I never have enough for the project that comes up that I want to do. Or I buy too much and I have just a little bit left, not enough to do another project. So it just piles up too. Maybe I need to make like a granny square blanket after every project and use up what's left no matter what. But I've stopped myself from just buying random yarn. I just don't. Just because it's on sale, I can't. Unless it's clearance, and then golly, I can't help myself. We have an Ollie's here. It's kind of like, I don't know, a salvage store maybe. It's new to us. We haven't had one very long, but they had a clearance, a big bins of Lion brand Hometown USA yarn for $1.99, which is a pretty good price. It says its regular price is $5.29. So I did buy that. I couldn't leave that there. It's pink and gray. I love pink. That's my favorite. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to make myself something. I never make myself anything, but I did. But I didn't know how much to buy because I didn't have a project in mind. So I just bought like 5 random bolts of that. But look, I did make a hat. Made myself a hat. It's super thick too, golly. I may never wear this hat. It does not get cold enough in South Mississippi to be wearing big bulky hats like this. But it's pretty and I like it. And I am going to make a scarf. Sometimes I do like to wear a scarf because it gets kind of chilly. Chilly for us. I mean, if it drops below 40, it's cold. Well, I did make a couple other hats. My friend Bridget wanted me to make her a hat, And I've been wanting to make something out of this burlap velvet yarn. Oh my gosh. It's so soft and yummy. It's purple. It's pretty. It's kind of a chenille, similar to what I've been making the animals out of. But I love this. And I was like, oh, I want to make something out of that. So she said, here, make me a hat. Oh, okay. So I made her a hat. And it's so soft. I heard a weird noise. I had to go check it out. I don't know what it was. Okay, so I made my friend a hat. She hasn't gotten it yet. I haven't seen her, but she's going to love it. And then I'll make something else with the rest of that. And so I've been trying to use the stash I have, make a hat when I can, list that on my site, and just get rid of some stuff because I have some beautiful yarn that is so nice to work with. So I made this messy bun beanie, just a pretty gray, charcoal gray, but it's double. I used a double strand because it was kind of thin, and it is so thick and nice. That's my little ladybug. Where's my little ladybug? Here it is. That's my little ladybug that I put on there for my tag. But it's a messy bun beanie. Has a hole in it. It's super nice and warm. I'll get that listed on my site one day. Here is my progress on my sleigh. This is what I've been working on, and I've been making a conscious effort, Nora Corbett, to stitch. And I was going to do a lot of that this past weekend, but like I said, I got in the craft closet and then didn't get anything done. So I did spend most of Sunday doing this, and or yet New Year's Day I did, and I got a lot done. This is all of it, and I worked on all of this down here, all of the sled part. Got a lot of that done, and then added all these gold beads on the side. All these. Isn't it pretty? You can't even see how sparkly that is. But I got a lot done. So I still have a lot of the packages and stuff to do up here. But a lot of that's, and the ribbon keeps going on. But I messed up. The reason I went ahead and tried to do all this over here is I messed up somewhere down here, and I didn't want to keep going. I wanted to make sure that this is right, and then I can fudge the ribbon wherever it needs to go. So I did the sled, the rails part of it, and then I can just work this in. I rarely frog anything and pull anything out. I just work it in. You'll never know the difference. And there was a couple of stitches on here that were a random brown color, and I just really couldn't see what its purpose was, so I made it gold. You'll never know. A couple of things. I got some stash. That's all the progress I have on stitching. I did start a new crochet project. I'll show you that already. Okay, go ahead and show you that. I had an order for an elephant rug and then an elephant stuffy, an animal. And I started Josephine and, well, Jeffrey. It's for a little boy. Here we go with the focus again. But it's by Ira Rott Designs. It's so cute, and it is huge. It is massive. It is like 4 by 5 feet. It's huge. It uses 3 strands of yarn, and I'm just using Karen 1-pound yarn. It's pretty soft, actually. And I started this last night, and got most of the head done. This is a 20 inches, I think. And I got 3 more rounds to go on this and then start the trunk. But it's huge and thick, super thick. But I had to take a break from it. My hands started cramping. I'm just using this plain old boring crochet hook. I don't have a fancy hook for an N 9mm hook. I've got to get that. But my hands started cramping. It's hard to hold 3 strands and keep the tension right, and had to take a break. So I stopped that and made a couple of needle minders, just playing with some different things that I have in my craft room that I found while cleaning out. It's amazing what you find when you clean crap up. So I just made a couple of needle minders, and then it was time to go to bed. So I didn't stitch anything last night. But speaking of hooks, I wanted to show y'all the pig hook that I talked about last time. This is the one that I use most for all my stuffies. It's a size I. I don't know what millimeter that is because it's covered up. But isn't he fun? Look, he's got a little tail. And she stamps the letter on the top. How fun. It makes me smile. She also has Chloe Rebecca Boutique on Etsy, is where I get most of my hooks from. She does excellent work, and she does a 3-month mystery hook subscription. And I've done it once before, and I showed y'all those, and so I signed up for another one because I need another eye hook, and then I wanted a couple of the others because I have several projects sometimes going on with each of those size hooks. Those are my most popular, and so I wanted to sign up for it again. And I just got my January hook, so I've got it for January, February, March, and I got my January hook, and it's the New Year's Eve theme. Glitter and sparkle and stars, and it's got a little hook, a little circle up there to add 2 little stitch markers. You can keep up with your stitch markers up there. They came with these 2 little stitch markers, just little stars, and those work really well. And they have these little earring, she's attached them to little earring backs. And so they stay in place really well. And they don't slip out. So those are fun. That's my new hook. I got, after seeing, dang you Flosstube, y'all are awesome. Kind of keeps me motivated to get some stitching done, to get some progress, so I have something to show. But every time I watch y'all, I make a list of other stuff that I think I need. This stitch from Stash Business, whatever. I'm gonna stitch my stash, but this is so, there we go. I'm gonna stitch my stash, but if something new and pretty comes up, I'm gonna buy it. May not ever get to it, but I'm gonna buy it. After watching Teresa Little Stitcher show all of her Mirabilia stuff, I had to go and look on the Mirabilia site and made a whole freaking list of all the Mirabilias I want. And then I found somebody that listed all the Nora Corbetts, and I put all those down too that I want. Thanks, Flosstube. Somebody showed this on Flosstube, and I went immediately to Amazon and got it too. The Cross Stitch Calendar. It's got 12 patterns. This hummingbird right there, I've already done. And I love her patterns. The patterns are by Awesome Pattern Studio on Etsy. And these are all the patterns that come with it. How cool is that? Is that Seattle? A kitty cat, a tree, an elephant. Look at all those. And it was only like 12 bucks. So you get a lot of a lot of stuff. Cheaper than if you bought the patterns themselves. And I love that fox. I don't know what this thing is, but I just love it. It's pretty. Let me do that one. I just love all the colors. So that's something else I bought, thanks to Flosstube. I'm going to get together with some of my stitchy friends, and we're going to have a finishing, like our own little personal finishing retreat. And everything that we've stitched, we're going to FFO it. I don't have that many things to do. I have 2 things. But I did buy all the stuff I needed for it. I'm going to make a pillow out of my hummingbird. That's the only thing I can come up with. He's too pretty to frame, but I don't really have a place to put a pillow, but I'm going to make one anyway. So that's the hummingbird. And then I got this little fat quarter, just pink, to go for the backing. And then look at this awesome trim. It's fringy. You pull out the thread on the bottom and it fringes out. And that's going to be my edge. How fun. It was hard to find something. And that stuff's not cheap. But I can't wait to do that. I think I can do it. I've never made a pillow with any kind of fringe on it, but I can do it. Be fine. I found this fabric at Hobby Lobby. It's Weigert Antique White, 25 count linen. It was regular $15.99. I got it for $4.99. I just saw it over there. I don't need any fabric, but it's white. I can use that on something. That's another thing. I used to be a member of the Silk Weaver Fabric of the Month Club, and I love their fabric. It was so pretty, but I just kept getting it, and then it started being kind of the same thing, and I never really had a project to use it on, and so I finally stopped getting it, and I ended up having a lot of blues and purples, which are pretty, but I haven't found anything to stitch on them. I've been trying. Every time I get a new pattern that I want to start, I go to my stash and look at, see what I have. It's either not the right count or it's not the right size. So it doesn't do me any good to stash fabric away because I don't use it. Never have the right project in mind. I have thought about picking a piece of fabric and then go and finding a pattern that'll go on it. That's kind of the opposite way to do things, but you know, whatever. Well, I guess that's all I have today. I've got a few more things I'll show y'all another day, but it was kind of random and scattered today, so I'll stop here and maybe reorganize, and I'll come back in a few days and do another segment and then put it all together for you guys. Happy stitching! Hey Flossy friends, another day, another update. I had a little bit of progress over the past week, not a whole lot of stitchy progress. Put a few more beads and Krynic in my sleigh, but that's about it for that. I've been doing a lot of crocheting, got a couple of things done and out. I got a mermaid and a cow done, and I'll put a picture in here of that, either here or at the end. I've got several projects going on, but I did not have a good crafty weekend. I just had the worst luck. Nothing was going right. I kept screwing up everything. I worked on a elephant rug, messed that up a couple of times, had to pull it out and redo, and said, well, I'm gonna do some beading. I'm gonna put my crochet down for a while and do some beading. Worked on a bracelet, kept messing that up. So it went in timeout for a while, and I said, screw it. I'm just gonna cross stitch. So I cross stitched a good bit, and then went back and tried to do some more crochet and get these things done. I've got 2 or 3 things going on right now. I need to get them out of here. So one thing I wanted to show, I had talked about last weekend, I had gotten my craft room and just reorganize some things and try to figure out better ways to do my storage. And what brought this all on is all my beads for my scissor fobs and for my bracelets are just kind of all everywhere. I have to get out 15 different boxes to get to what I need, and that drives me insane. So I was trying to get a little bit more organized and find a way to keep that all together, and I can just look at everything, find what I need, and not have so many things to pull out. So what I found was at Michael's, I ended up not buying them at Michael's because they weren't on sale, but at Michael's they have these little boxes, clear plastic boxes that come with these little round screw top containers, and there's 24 of them in here. So I did that. I bought a couple of those to try out and just put all my beads in there, and then I used my label maker and made a label for what it was. And you know, most of y'all may not bead, but I like looking at everybody's organization stuff, so I thought y'all might enjoy that and maybe get inspiration on something that y'all could use these for. But I didn't want, there's 24 in this box, but I didn't want 15 of these boxes hanging about and have to get all those out to look and see what I needed. So what can I put them in? What can I put them all in to stay together and be able to just pull one thing out? So at Michael's, they had these slim project cases, 12 by 12, and they're for scrapbooking stuff, but this is what I put them in. So much glare. And they fit 55 of these little round containers in there. And there's the back side. You can see it a little bit better without the sticker on it. But these work really well, and they're really thin, like an inch, probably a little bit more than that, but they work really good. And I bought a couple of those just to try out and see if that's how I wanted to do it. And then I went back and got a couple more, and I ended up buying the little containers at Joann's. I had a coupon for 50% off, and then I got another one. They're $10 for 24 little round containers, and I had a coupon for $5 off, that rewards thing, and so I bought 2 of those there. And then I decided, yes, I like that, that'll work. I went on Amazon and found them for $4 and something, less than $5. So I ordered 4 more from Amazon because I didn't want to have to go back, wait for them to be on sale or get a coupon or whatever. I wanted to do it now. I have to do it now, get a good idea, and I want to work on it immediately. But they came in, and they're fine, and they'll work, and I'm going to use them, but they weren't quite as nice as the ones I got at Joann's. They're just a little more rough around the edges, but they're fine. They're the same size. They screw on and they stay on, and they're fine. So now I have this other problem that I have 5 or 6 of these containers just hanging about my craft room. What do I do with that? I'm not going to throw them away because you never know. Might need that for something. It's a really cool box. I don't know. But now that's hanging around my craft room. So what am I going to do with that? But that worked really well. Another organization thing that I thought I would share is how I organize my chronic. I don't have a whole lot, but it's accumulated over the years because I've done several Mirabilias and Mill Hills and stuff. I don't know what all I've used these for. And stuff went on clearance at Michael's, and I had to buy it there. I used to work at Michael's back in '98 for 3 years when it first opened here in Hattiesburg. And that was awesome because we got to find we got first dibs on all the clearance things. We knew when they were going on clearance and got a lot of stuff that way. So, I mean, it was only like 50 cents. I had to buy it couldn't just leave it there. So I printed off the inventory list from Chronic that's got all the different colors and what they're available in size-wise and all that, blending filament or braid or whatever. So I printed that off and highlighted everything that I have. And I'd already had a little bit of a inventory sheet, but it was working fine, but it was hard to add stuff to it. So I just have one of these boxes that you get in the fishing department, basically. And just moved my little guys around, my little dividers, and just stood them up. And you can see all the numbers. I haven't put them in like numerical order yet. I don't know if I will because it's kind of a pain, and you add stuff, you take stuff. I don't know. But that's how I do mine. I thought about those ammo boxes that people use, and that's a great idea. They fit perfect in there. But again, they don't fit very many. And I don't want to have to get out 15 boxes to find what I need. And they take up more space. This doesn't take up very much space at all. And I put it on my shelf in there like that. So this is what I'm going with for now. Till I outgrow that, and then I'll come up with something else. I did see at Joann's yesterday a really cool box that had little pegs in it, like for spools. And it said it held like 200 and something. I didn't investigate too closely because it was like 30 bucks. And I was like, well, 15 with a 50% coupon. Nah, I don't need that right now. This is working fine. And it was a lot bigger too, a lot wider for me to be able to put back on my shelf. So I just left it there. I skipped. I didn't have to have it. This is the bracelet that I finished this weekend. It took me all weekend because I kept screwing up. I just had the worst time with this thing. I'd get a piece of it done, and that looked fine. And then I did the next section, and the first section was a good bit longer than the first section. So I recounted, make sure I'd got my repeats right, and it was right. And I was like, well, what's the deal? Okay, well, I'm just going with it. So then I put the next section on, and then I pulled it too tight, and it was all curved and yucky. I'm like, dang it. So I took it out, and then I put it back on again. And as I'm connecting everything together, I figure out one of the holes in one of the beads isn't big enough to go through, or it's closed up. I'm like, man. And I was way into it by then, practically finished before I figured that out. And so I tried to ream it out, broke the bead. I had to dismantle the entire bracelet again. But so at that point, I put it all in timeout, put it in a bag, put it up for a while, and just cross-stitched the rest of the day. I was like, well, maybe I can't screw that up. I can. I had to pull some of that out too. It was just not good. I don't know, my heart wasn't in it, my mind wasn't in it, or something. But so this is what it ended up being. I did finally finish it last night, or yesterday afternoon, and it turned out really good. It's really pretty. I haven't made any green ones yet. This came about from the previous week's craft closet clean out. I found all these, I didn't find them, I knew they were in there, but pulled out all the beads that I had bought specifically for projects. And I was like, man, these have been in here forever. I got to get those done. So I was like, oh, I'm going to work on one. And that shouldn't have taken all weekend. I should have been able to do all 3 or 4 of them that I have stuff for, but it didn't. So I'll get back to that. That'll probably be put on hold for a while. And I'll get back to them and do them because they're really pretty. I love them. I've got another colorway for this same pattern, and I want to get that one done. It's not hard. Once you learn the repeat, it goes really quick. But one time I put 2 beads where there was supposed to be 1, and one time I just didn't pull hard enough. My tension wasn't good, and I don't know, lots of stuff. Okay, so I got to back up for this. I'm making a rug blanket, I mean a elephant rug. I showed y'all the picture of that. Joseph and Josephine from Ira Wright. That guy. Isn't he fun? Okay. I got the head and trunk and part of an ear done. Look at this thing. It is massive, but it went really fast. I got this done in like 2 nights, this part. And he's going to curl up and it attaches to the ear over here somewhere. And his little hair. That's fun. But this thing is huge. Look at this. I didn't even measure it this time, but it's big. And then 2 parts of the ear I got done. That's the big part, and this is going to be a circle on it. And then there's, no, this goes down here, I think. And then trim all the way around. This thing is big. That's the left ear. Working on that slowly but surely. It's coming along. It's coming along. It'll be finished, and I'm working on an elephant. I just have the body done at that, but like a stuffy, elephant stuffy for the same lady. Girl I work with, having a baby in February. I got to get on it. I'll finish it. That's about it as far as progress. That was a pretty good week. I did a lot. I was going to show y'all what I've got. I'm not calling it plans, but some things that I would like to do next whenever I get to that. I am going to finish the things that I already have started that I showed y'all in my, I guess, my first video or something. I'm definitely going to finish the sleigh first. I'm working on that until it's done. Not stitching anything else. That needs to get out of my life because I saw that I started that September of 2017. So that needs to go and be done. So I can finish it. I think I'm decided I'm just going to frame it and put it somewhere else. There's not room on my mantle. Still have my reindeer up. I'm enjoying those very much, but there's not room on the mantle for the sleigh. And honestly, it really doesn't go with the reindeer. I don't think it just, I don't know. It's just different. It just doesn't seem to go. So I'm going to just frame it and put it somewhere else. It'll be pretty. These are the things that I do want to do that I've got most of the stuff for and kitted up and ready to go. The first one that I think I'm going to start, I don't know when I'm going to start next, but I really like this one. Glendon Place, Eggs All Around. And I've been seeing people show other all around patterns that I didn't know were out there. Some ornaments, some trees, some other stuff. But Glendon Place, I like their stuff. It is full of cryneck and beads and all that good stuff. So you know I like that. I have some fabric. It's not in here. I don't know where it is. I think it's just white. Something white. Just I wanted to go real plain with it. I didn't want to compete with all the colors, so I just got white. And this is also another how I store my stuff in each project. I get these little photo boxes, 4x6 photo boxes from Michaels. You can get them on sale, and they're like $1, $1.50. I think they're regular $3, $2.99. And this is what I keep my beads and cryneck in for projects like this. And it just slips down in my project bag. Here's my project bag for that. we've already determined that I'm a craft hoarder. And so I buy random fabric that I think, ooh, that's pretty. I can use that for finishing on something. Ooh, I'll use that. That's cool. That'll go with something. I'm sure I can use that with finishing. So I buy all these random fat quarters that don't match anything. I buy one lime green something, and ooh, that's pretty, and put it away. And then they just don't match anything for a specific project. And again, I don't have enough to do a bag or whatever I wanted to do, and that just piles up. So one day a while back, I just got angry, and I was opening a drawer trying to find something. I was like, that is it. I'm done with all this fabric. Don't ever buy another piece of fabric unless you have a project in mind for it. Don't do it. And so I've been really good about that. I haven't. I just don't even look at it when I go in the store. It's so pretty, but I just, not looking, not buying, not doing it. But I pulled my fabric drawer out and went through it and tried to find anything that remotely went together. And I was like, I am using this stuff, and what is all these small little pieces that I'm keeping, they're gone. I've got a whole bag full of scraps over here that I was keeping for I don't know what, but it's gone. Somebody's going to get blessed at the Christian services with that stuff. So I pulled out, I don't know how many. I think the first round, maybe I made 5 or 6 project bags, and just found a couple of pieces of fat quarters that remotely went together, that had kind of the same colors, coordinating colors in it. And I was like, I don't care really what it looks like. They're for me, and it doesn't really matter. So I took a weekend and cut out however many project bags, and went and got all the vinyl for it and the little bit of interfacing that it takes, and cut them all out. And then, I don't know, the next weekend or the next, they sat over there for a while. It was not the next weekend. Sat over there for a while, and I finally said, okay, these are in my way again. I'm stopping everything, and I'm sewing them all together. So I got several sewed together. And I showed my friends, and they were like, what do you need with all those project bags, Miss One Start, One Finish? I'm like, whatever, shut up. I don't have a lot of whips, but I like to kit stuff up and keep it there and ready to go when I want to start it. But they're right. I really don't need this many project bags. But I have proceeded to fill most of my project bags. So I used, that was the first round, and put them up and went on about my way. And then I decided, you know what? Let's make some more, because I bought too much of the vinyl and I had that hanging about, and I'm like, well, what am I gonna do with that? And the interfacing. So I was like, okay, let's go back in and see what more fabric that we can put together and do. I have a ton of Christmas fabric. None of it goes together. I've had several projects that I wanted to do with some coordinating Christmas fabric, and I've got like yards of this stuff, and nothing goes together. So frustrating. So I made 10 more project bags to use up the vinyl and the interfacing. So I'm probably done with that. I don't know if I'll make any more, because I definitely don't need any more project bags for myself. And I'm not the best seamstress. I can hardly sew a straight line with a line drawn for me. So I doubt I'll sell these on my Etsy store or anything. But they're pretty, and I like to look at them, and they're nice and slim. They're not big and puffy. I like this style better. I like this style better than the Vana bag, but I have made several Vana bags, and I love those. But for this many, where I have them, this just works better. They're nice and slim, and I can see what's in them, and I like it. So that's one of them, with the purple inside. That's fun. It's pretty and bright. No idea what I bought that fabric for. I have no idea what I bought any of this fabric for. Okay, so I'll show you the project bag as I'm showing you the next projects that I have in the ready. Jack's Playing with Jacks. Isn't that pretty? Cricut collection. I'm probably going to not do the jack-o'-lantern face. They have a different jack-o'-lantern you can put, or a different pumpkin you can put right there. And I think I'm probably going to do that. So I got all my thread for that on this pretty green fabric in this birdie bag. It kind of goes together, kind of not. Okay, time out, be right back. Okay, sorry about that. In the first segment, was this picture driving y'all crazy, all wonky? Sorry. I didn't notice it while I was filming, but when I rewatched it, I was like, oh Lord, I'm sure that drove some people bananas. Okay, the next one I've got in the go is Raven Queen by Mirabilia. Isn't she pretty? And big. Good Lord. I think I'm just going to do her and the Raven and probably not all this extra stuff. I don't know. Probably not. I just like her. Just some misty color gray fabric. Ooh, that looks blue. Oh well. I don't know what it's from. It may be Under the Sea. I don't know. Now I've got all my floss and everything ready to go for that in this bag. Turquoise and brown. Just a brown swirly on the inside. Pretty, pretty. Just a couple more and then I gotta go. Oh, gotta go back to work. Well, I've been at work, but this week everybody's back. It's gonna be a little crazy. All the doctors are back this week. And, you know, you have to pay to play, so they're gonna be in full force. Everybody's got crazy full schedules, making up for all the time they were out and having to see everybody now. This is my very first chatelaine. I saw this at, I think I was at a cross stitch store in Spring, Texas. ABC Stitch Therapy, I think, when I was in town for a conference, and they had some chatelaines stitched up on the wall and they were gorgeous. Oh my gosh. And massive. They are huge. But I went on the lookout and was looking for some and trying to pick one and decide. And there's so many. So when I went to market last year with Jen, somebody had them in their booth. And so I got a chatelaine mini mandala mystery 1. So it's just a little baby one. 6 something by 6 something. And I'm going to start with that. And it's so pretty. And I'm going to do it on this Silk Weaver Green Apple 32 count opalescent. I like the opalescent. It's just barely green, barely variegated. It's not much at all. I think that'll be pretty. I haven't pulled all of the threads or beads or anything. I just hadn't got to that. But I need to do that because that's what I really want to do pretty quick. I like these. It's the beading, I think, and I'm sure there's some Krynic and all kinds of fun stuff in there. And I'm going to do this one too pretty quick. Oh, I didn't show you the bag. Oh, well, whatever. A Mill Hill kit that Jen got for me. I think she found it off of a freebie table at one of the retreats she went to without me. It's Mill Hill Autumn Kit broom sale. She knew I would like that. There we go. That's super cute. And that won't take very long. I need to just get on that. It has a little ghosty button. I'll get on that. Put it in a Halloween bag. Look at those bats. Bats and spiders. And just some orangey gold colored fabric inside. I guess that's it for now. I don't know anything else. I want to say thank y'all so much for all the love. I've had just so much outpouring, so many comments, likes, subscribers, everything. Y'all have been great. I've had a bunch of new followers on Instagram. Y'all come over there and find me. Check out my Southern Ladybug Facebook page. Check out my Etsy store. Always adding new stuff. I don't have any of my crochet stuff on there right now because, again, I'm afraid somebody might order something and I'd have to do it. My list is way too long right now, so I don't put anything on that. But if somebody needs something, I'll be glad to accommodate you. I wanted to make some more scissor fobs this weekend, but a dang bracelet took too long, so I didn't get to that. But I'll get some more scissor fobs made. I've got a bunch of needle minders done. I just haven't taken the pictures and got everything ready to post those. That is the hardest part of all this, is taking the dang pictures and editing those and getting them on my listings. I need to hire somebody to do that one day. But that's it for me. I'll put all these together and get it posted pretty quick. Y'all have an awesome week. Happy stitching. Bye.